You've seen the stunning skylines, the cultural landmarks, maybe even booked your tickets. But what if I told you some of the world's most beautiful cities are also the most dangerous? One minute you're dreaming of samba in Rio or tacos in Tijuana, the next, you're staring at crime stats that read like a horror script. Today we're peeling back the glossy veneer to reveal the most crime-ridden cities tourists actually visit, often unaware of the risks. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about being informed. The best traveler isn't just adventurous but smart. If you're ready to look beyond the brochure, stick with me. At the end, I'll reveal a tourist hotspot that feels safe until it's too late. Let's get into it. Let's start just south of the border, Tijuana. The vibrant markets, the smell of tacos, the quirky donkey zebra. Tijuana feels like a fun, edgy extension of California. But while you're haggling over souvenirs, you're in one of the world's most dangerous cities, with a homicide rate that rivals war zones. Most violence is cartel-related, but when crime is this pervasive, it spills over. Tourists face risks like express kidnappings, armed robberies, and scams that can turn violent. Corruption is a real issue. Sometimes even the police aren't your allies. The U.S. State Department regularly issues warnings: stick to well-traveled areas, avoid flashy displays of wealth, and be hyper-aware. Tijuana's proximity to the U.S. makes it feel safe, but crossing the border means entering a different reality. The city's economy depends on tourists, but the security situation is fragile. So, while a cheap day trip is tempting, remember, you're visiting the epicenter of a brutal conflict. Keep your head on a swivel, trust your instincts, and understand the festive atmosphere exists, right alongside a much darker world. It's a tale of two cities, be aware of both. Rio, just the name conjures Magic Christ the Redeemer, Sugarloaf Mountain, Copacabana. Millions flock here for paradise, but behind the beauty lies deep inequality and violent crime. Favelas, often run by drug gangs, are sometimes marketed as authentic tours, but the situation can change in an instant. Truce breaks, police raids, and suddenly, you're in real danger. The threat isn't limited to favelas. Street crime is rampant, and arrestos, mass robberies, can hit the beaches in seconds. Local advice is strict: no jewelry, carry little cash, use taxis at night, never walk the beach after dark. Rio's beauty sits side by side with man-made danger. The line between safe and unsafe zones is blurry and can shift without warning. Should you go? That's your call. The experience is unique, but you must travel with eyes wide open. Be vigilant, be smart, and respect that Rio is both breathtakingly beautiful and breathtakingly dangerous. Once the Paris of South America, Caracas, Venezuela is now a city in crisis. Decades of political turmoil and economic collapse have made it one of the world's most violent cities. Violent crime is a daily reality. Armed robberies, carjackings, and express kidnappings are common. Infrastructure has crumbled. Power outages, unreliable water, and hospitals lacking basic supplies. The U.S. State Department has a Level 4 do not travel advisory for Venezuela. The city's former beauty is overshadowed by decay and fear. After dark, streets empty, and anxiety is constant. Unlike other cities, there are no real safe tourist zones in Caracas. The danger is everywhere. Economic desperation drives crime, and even those who never would have considered it before may now see it as survival. Visiting Caracas isn't about being a smart traveler, it's an extreme risk. While we can sympathize with the Venezuelan people, Caracas is not a destination for tourism. It's a stark reminder of how quickly a city can fall from grace. Cape Town, South Africa, one of the world's most beautiful cities, with Table Mountain beaches and vineyards. But beneath the beauty is a legacy of apartheid and staggering inequality, fueling violent crime. Murder and robbery rates are among the world's highest, especially in the Cape Flats townships. Violence spills into tourist areas. Carjackings, muggings, and robberies happen even in wealthy suburbs and on hiking trails. Safety here is active. Locals don't walk at night, keep car doors locked, and never display valuables. The city is trying to fight crime, with heavy police and private security in tourist hubs, but this creates a bubble effect. Step outside the bubble, and the risk changes fast. Cape Town is a city of contrasts, breathtaking and troubled. Admire the beauty, but never underestimate the beast. New Orleans, the Big Easy. Jazz, beignets, and the French Quarter's magic draw millions every year. But beneath the party, New Orleans has one of the highest murder rates in the US, rooted in poverty and strained policing. Tourist areas are heavily policed, but pickpockets and scammers target the distracted. The real danger starts when you step outside the well-lit busy zones. Safety can change block by block. A wrong turn, especially at night, can put you at risk for robbery or assault. Locals advise, stay in groups, stick to main streets, use taxis or ride shares at night, and be wary of overly friendly strangers. Enjoy the city's soul, but keep your guard up. New Orleans rewards smart, aware travelers. Memphis, Tennessee, home of the blues, rock and roll, and legendary barbecue. The city's musical and civil rights history is powerful, but Memphis also ranks among the most dangerous U.S. cities. Violent and property crime rates are high, driven by deep poverty and lack of opportunity. Tourist hotspots like Beale Street and Graceland are generally safe, but risk rises sharply outside these areas, especially at night. Car break-ins are common, even in hotel lots, so never leave valuables in your vehicle. Locals say, plan your route, don't wander after dark, and avoid unfamiliar neighborhoods. Memphis has a huge heart and world-changing history, but you need to be vigilant to enjoy it safely. Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City. Once the engine of America, it's now a city in transition. Downtown and neighborhoods like Corktown are revitalized, drawing tourists and new residents. But the comeback isn't complete or evenly spread. Outside revitalized areas, Detroit still struggles with high violent crime and urban decay. Safety can change block by block. Abandoned buildings and crumbling infrastructure create environments where crime flourishes. For visitors, local knowledge is key. Stick to known safe areas, especially after dark, and don't wander off main routes. Use ride shares or drive directly to destinations. Don't walk long distances through unfamiliar neighborhoods. Detroit's resilience is inspiring, but it's not a city to explore carelessly. Baltimore, Maryland, famous for The Wire but also for its historic Inner Harbor and vibrant neighborhoods. The city battles one of the highest homicide rates among major U.S. cities, with issues rooted in poverty and violence. Tourist areas like the Inner Harbor are generally safe, but the insulation is thin, problems are never far away. Safety changes quickly block by block. A short walk in the wrong direction can put you at risk for robbery or assault. Research neighborhoods before visiting, know their boundaries, and follow current safety advice. When in doubt, use cabs or ride shares, especially at night. Baltimore has character and charm, but smart, informed travel is essential. St. Louis, Missouri. Home to the iconic Gateway Arch and a proud Midwestern vibe. But the city also has the highest murder rate in the U.S., with violence concentrated in specific neighborhoods, especially North St. Louis. Tourist areas like downtown, the Arch, and Central West End are generally safe, but the Del Mar Divide marks a sharp change in safety and demographics. Wandering without a plan is risky. Getting lost can take you from safe to dangerous in minutes. Car break-ins are common, so never leave valuables visible. Enjoy the city's highlights, but stay within safer corridors and be aware of your surroundings. Here's the twist: San Juan, Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory marketed as a safe, tropical paradise. The image is colorful buildings, historic forts, and beautiful beaches. For many, it feels like a Caribbean adventure with U.S. safety. But recently, San Juan has seen a surge in violent crime driven by the drug trade and economic struggles. Most violence doesn't target tourists, and main tourist zones are heavily policed. The danger is the illusion of total safety. Tourists let their guard down, wander unfamiliar neighborhoods, or leave valuables unattended. Shootouts have occurred uncomfortably close to tourist areas. If Puerto Rico were a foreign country, it would likely have a travel warning based on crime stats. San Juan is stunning and vibrant, but don't be lulled by paradise. Use the same smart travel rules as anywhere else. 10 captivating cities, each with a side the brochures don't show. Travel is enriching, but only when you know what you're walking into. Being informed isn't about fear, it's about preparation. Have you visited any of these cities? Share your tips and stories in the comments to help others travel smarter. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share with fellow travelers. The more we share, the safer we all are. Stay safe, stay curious, and until next time, this is Informed Tourist signing off.